All right. So, and then we are going to fill this in. Ganeet, can you please push the top left button again? Look at you. Perfect. Step 1 is always what? What is the first step in everything we have done with polynomials this year? Factor. Step 1 is always factor when you can. Step 2, if you don't already have it, create a perfect square trinomial. How do I create a perfect square trinomial? Remember, trinomials look like this. ax squared plus bx plus c equals d sometimes, not necessarily 0. What do I have to do with this side in order to create the perfect square trinomial? B divided by 2, and then what do I do with that answer? Square it. Then I must add any new, and I'm highlighting new, any new terms where? To both sides, or wait, add any new terms to both sides. And finally, step 4, isolate x. Is it always going to be x? No, we isolate it. Everybody cool? All right. I have to pee, so you guys are going to do 2a and b. Even though they're in blue boxes and I said I would do the ones in blue boxes, I want you to try a and b, okay? Go. All this stuff. You all sit there waiting for me to put a negative in the wrong place so you can laugh at me and point. Ha ha, idiot, can't do math. But the thing that helps you, nobody notices that. I did not, or that little red light would be flashing. Now, I don't expect you to be able to see that little red light.
The red light is flashing.
Yeah, it is now.
Okay. I don't know. For some reason, I thought you could left earlier.
Then all that. Then all that. And then that. That's a 3. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pause this for the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm going to come up, I'm going to do a question or two. Some 1 and 2. So number 1, I am not going to use a giant thick purple felt. I'm going to use light blue today. 1, x squared plus 8x equals 3. When I rewrite, I leave that space there. Why do I leave that space there? Because I'm going to fill that space with something right now, right? Do I need to do divide by 2 and squared, or can I just write 16 there? Does everybody understand? One person is nodding. Okay. Once I add 16 there, I got to add 16 there. Actually, that I will do in a different color. Yeah? Now, I factor this side. X plus 4 squared equals 19. Square root. X plus 4 equals plus or minus root 19. X equals negative 4 plus or minus root 19. Done. Number 2. X squared minus 5x equals 3. That, halved and squared, is positive 25 fourths. Yes? Which is 6 1/4, yes? right? Well, what is 6 1/4 plus 3? He waited patiently for his kids to add 6 1/4, 6 and 3. 9 1/4. So then I go back to factoring. X minus 5/2 squared equals 9 1/4. Now, a great many of you have trouble with square rooting that because it's yucky. So go ahead and change that, if you wish, to 37/4. Right? Square root both sides. X minus 5/2 equals plus or minus the root of 37/4. Right? X equals 5/2 plus or minus the root of 37/4. Am I happy there right now? Yes. Can we do more? Yes. Okay. Now, just quickly, it would be 5/2 plus or minus the root of 37/2, right? Right? Because the square root of 4 is 2. Are these the same denominator now? Right? So it's going to be 5 plus root 37/2, or 5 minus root 37/2. Because you can put them together because they're the same denominator. Yeah? But, reminders, if you get to there, I'm happy enough. Everybody cool? Back to work. Stop the gong. That was 2. What color for 3? Now let's go mustard. X squared minus 6x plus 1 equals 0. Well, as I was just saying to Aiden, I like to move that over here, so I'm just working with my trinomial. Half of 6 is 3, 3 squared is 9, so I'm adding 9 to that side, yes? Right? Which means I add 9 to that side, yes? Now, so Aiden, what happened when we were working on the backboard?
You didn't do it to both sides.
I forgot to do it to both sides.
So I did it so it was x squared minus 6x plus
Right.
10 equals 10.
X minus 3 squared equals negative 1 plus 9 is 8. Square root both sides. X minus 3 equals plus or minus root 8. X equals 3 plus or minus root 8. And would we simplify that? Eventually, we want that simplified, right? It's, of course, 2 root 2. So it would be 3 plus or minus 2 root 2. Yeah? Okay.
Aren't you minusing the 9? Like subtracting the 9 and bringing it to the other side there.
Oh, yeah, it should have been minus. See, I was minus 9. So it is x minus 3 squared equals negative 10. And we have to stop there. Why? Because of what I was just saying to Hayden. You can't get a square root of negative 10. So there's no answer to that question. Okay, x will equal nothing. So what does that mean on a graph? Will my graphed line ever touch the x-axis? No. It'll be something weird. It'll look like this. It'll start above the x-axis and go up. Everybody cool? Mateus?
Why are you minusing the 9 on the other?
Because when you move the 9 over... No! All you are messing with my head. I am too. X squared minus 6x equals negative 1. Now I have added 9 to both sides. I was right the first time. Now we add 9 to both sides. X minus 3 squared equals 8. X minus 3 equals plus or minus root 8. X equals 3 plus or minus root 8. God darn it. Huh? That was you. I have recorded 1 and 2. May I erase them? Because I am out of space. I will do my best to consolidate for 4 and 5. 4. X squared plus 7x equals 4. Everybody's cool, right? Because I like to work with my trinomial. So that is plus half of 7 is 7 halves, squared is 49 fourths. Yes? So on this side, I have now added 49 fourths, which is, what did you just say? Oh, I thought you did. It is, of course, 12 and 1/4, yes? So I have x plus 7 halves squared equals 16 and 1/4. Right? Then I just follow my rules. X plus 7 halves equals plus or minus the root of 16 and 1/4. Then you would do the math, and you would get x equals negative 7 halves plus or minus the root of 16 and 1/4. And I don't care about going further right now. Okay? Learn to complete the square. We'll worry about the rest later. And what time is it? 10:13? I might as well do 5 and 6. X squared minus 2x equals 6 plus 1 x plus x minus 1 squared equals 7. X minus 1 equals plus or minus root 7. X equals 1 plus or minus root 7. And lastly, number 6, and they have all been recorded now. X squared plus x equals 3 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 x plus 1/2 squared equals 3 and 1/4. X equals, x plus 1/2 equals plus or minus root 3 and 1/4. X equals 1/2 plus or minus 3 and 1/4. Now, we can go further there, and we will start going further there after this assignment. After Monday, I expect this to be finished because you will have been able to have practiced enough on what we're doing with this side. Okay? That once you have that new stuff and you're able to do it, this old stuff should now, you can bring it into the party. All right? By my count, we have 10 minutes left in class. There are 6 more questions to do. That should be more than enough time. I think, though, unless anybody has questions, I think I will work through all 1 through 6 right now, and it will be added to the video. And then I am going to actually complete them. I'm going to take them to the end, okay? So people can start seeing what's going on. Maybe you want to try taking these all the way through. On your assignment on Monday, I'm not going to be marking for finishing the job. I'm going to be marking for the completing the square side of things. Everybody with me? But remember, after Monday, I expect them to get finished. Cool? Okay, you guys go. Yes, Jacob.
For number 4 on the second page, I factored out 2. So then to divide the next 2, do I want to just do 6 over 2 instead?
You could factor out a 2.
And 6 over 4 instead.
That's what I would use. See, I don't like that. I like to get rid of the 4.
That's what I've been doing the whole time.
Yeah. So,
I just turned into a Friday.
yeah. I'm going to go x squared plus 6 fourths x equals 5 fourths.
Then I got
X squared plus 3 halves x. Half of 3 halves is 3/4. 3/4 cubed is, or 3/4 squared is 9/16. Right? So then I gotta add 9/16, which is 29/16, yeah? Then I'm gonna factor x plus 3/2 squared equals 29/16. X plus 3/2 equals plus or minus the root of 29/16. X equals negative 3/2 plus or minus root 29/4, right? And then that is negative 6 plus or minus root 29/4. And then, of course, you would simplify here. If you wanted to go really crazy, it would be negative 3 halves plus or minus root 29/4. So you could leave it. I would go to the common denominator, which is what I did in the other class.
Would it be wrong if, so what I did is instead of doing the 5, instead of dividing 5 by 4 as well, like, I don't know why I did this, but I just didn't know that I could do that. I just factored one side, left the 5, added the 36/16, or I had 36/16, I didn't reduce it. And then,
Well,
the
now,
thing where I switch them kind of
so
back.
what you're saying is you did this. You had 4x squared plus 6x minus 5 equals 0. 4x squared plus 6x equals 5. Then you brought out the 4. But if you're going to do that, you're factoring. You're not simplifying.
That's right, that I factored it.
So you got to leave that 4 there. So you're still going to get x squared plus 3 halves x plus 9/16, right? I'm sorry, not 9/16. Yeah, 3/4, 9/16, yeah?
I just
But now there's a 4 here, so you got to add 5 plus 36/16.
yeah.
And then you're fine.
Yeah, and then I brought the 16 into the 4 and then or whatever to the other one.
So let's finish yours off here. That would be 36/16 is 2 4/16, so 2 1/4. So this was 7 1/4, right?
I never got. I just left it at 5 plus 36/16. But
Okay. Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Have good days.